This is Andre Wade. We just released. Come to talk about some things today. And today's topic is basically about morals of things. I was talking to my young fella that inspired me to do YouTube. And we always talking about things. And he would always tell me, he say, Dre, you need to put that on YouTube. So today, I'm gonna put this on YouTube. A comment was made that I know anything about the Gibb Lewis unit. I gave a story about Styles, where the Gibb Lewis unit was a small unit, where Styles was a large unit because Styles was a maximum security unit, and Gibb Lewis was a minimum security unit. And the difference is the maximum and minimum. But the Gibb Lewis unit that I was hearing about had a lot of things going on it, like Styles, telephones, weed, and tobacco, and all those things that wasn't supposed to be on the unit. But the officers was bringing these things in, as well as on Styles. But Styles was on a larger scale because Styles did things, like I said, through Green Dot, MoneyGram, and Western Union. Where Gibb Lewis was doing things on a cash money level. Where Styles went to another level because you can buy things with MoneyGram and Green Dot with numbers, but with a larger scale of money. Officers didn't have to worry about trying to bring a bunch of money or the inmates giving them a lot of money. Where Styles, they can just give them a number and they can upload it on their Green Dot card, or on their MoneyGram, or on their Western Union, on their Western Union. It's basically the same thing, but on a different scale. Yeah, I knew about Gibb Lewis, but Gibb Lewis wasn't on the scale that we was on Styles or Darrington. Darrington had where they brought undercover officers in, trying to bust the officers and the inmates. A time changed where on Darrington, the inmates started telling the rank on how the situation was going on in that unit. So they was bringing in detectives to bust these peoples, because this state we live in, the state of Texas, was on a larger scale. We look at California. California didn't have monitors where they can monitor the officers coming through their facilities with these telephones. You look at what was the guy named? The white man, the white guy, Helter Skelter, or whoever he was, Manson. He was getting busted with telephones every week because they didn't have no monitors, and the officers was bringing them in. Well, they were trying to find out on how they can stop, on how Texas was doing it. They wanted to do it how Texas was doing it, because they came in with these monitors where the officers couldn't bring the telephones in just that easy. With California, they couldn't do it, but officers was bringing all these telephones in. Manson was getting, like I say, was getting busted. Every facility in these states is gonna try something different. They're gonna try something different to try to stop these things that's coming into their facilities. And always it's gonna be something different where the inmate is gonna try to beat the system, because they start making these soda waters and these water bottles where you can uncap them and you can place things inside of them, and it looks like a regular soda water bottle. It looks like a regular water bottle. Again, something different. Every time it's going to figure out a way to beat the system, to beat the law. Even out here in these streets, it's going to be a way where you can beat the law. You're going to beat the law. I remember when we used to shoot dice on concrete, in the yards, at the parks. We used to shoot dice. And the laws used to run down on us when they break the dice games up. Well, in today's time, they shooting dice inside the stores. They shooting dice on the run. Difference. It's a difference. Every time something different is going to take place. I remember we used to steal cars. Well, they tried to make an alarm where you couldn't steal a car. Well, it was a way to steal a car with the alarm. You know, you had the alarms where they talk to you and they tell you to step away from you. Please step away from the car, or step away from it. And then in between those time limits of the computer speaking, you would steal a car. You would steal a car as a way to figure out every time on how to do something to beat the system, to beat the law. Because law changes every day. And even in the Texas prison, the law changes for the state and not for the inmate. And that's what Just Release is about. Just Release is about speaking out of some things that take place in the lives of the law. We need a law to change for the inmates. So the people that's out here in society, we have to come up with something that'll help our loved ones that's incarcerated. Because the law is going to change every so years for them. Right now today, they're inside to try to figure out a law to harm and make it where an inmate can't get out of prison. But we're going to figure out a way to come up with a law that'll help the offender to get out of prison. Because it don't take 20 years for an inmate to rehabilitate himself. It don't take that long. When we're in these prisons and we take these classes, they're supposed to help us. They're supposed to help us so when we get back in society, we can be a better person. We can be better for the community. Just Release is about that. Just Release is about helping the community to help those who are being hindered inside these walls of confinement. Let's figure out a way to help them. Because somewhere, like I say, they are inside these offices trying to figure out a way to keep them in. Let's come up with something that'll get them out. If you got an idea, or if you got something that can help an inmate, get with me, Just Release, and let's talk about it. Let's speak about it. We get these comments. We get these comments that comes in from the viewers. If you got an idea that can help an inmate, then let's talk about it. Let's speak about it. Let's place it up on the table so that when they change these laws, they have to review these laws. They have to review them because that's what the law says. That's what the law speaks about. And that's what the First Amendment talks about, freedom of speech. The First Amendment of the United States is freedom of speech. So we can speak out. We can talk about it and not have it where the law can affect us where we can't. Because the First Amendment says that we have the right to freedom of speech. This is Andre Wade with Just Release. And I'll be back with you with something else.